Good afternoon, chat. How are you doing? Apologies for the technical difficulties and having to repeat docs. Anyway, welcome to another high octane stream involving art making and general chit chat and live querying. I hope you are well and are having a good morning or afternoon or evening wherever you are. So previously on Able Love Charlie, what were we doing? We were doing this. So we had finished, use the word echo, finished the rest of it. And we're moving on to doing the fuzzy shape. So blending, getting intensity of blending and then blending it out. So I need to try and get that done today. I also then need to clean up the rest of it. I need to rub out some edges because they're too obvious. Yeah, let me just... Okay, so this might be a bit too heavy for a Sunday afternoon, but hold on a minute. What was I just looking at? I was just looking at this soundtrack, which could be an interesting change of pace. Let's listen to this. What was I doing? Turning up my headphones. Let me just move some windows around.
He chose the path of perpetual torment. In his ravenous hatred, he found no peace, and with boiling blood, he scoured.
I'm just going to sit here and take this in
Seeking vengeance
because it is particularly epic.
who had wronged him, and those that tasted the bite of his sword named him the Doomslayer.
Oh yeah, I'm going to tell you this is what I need for my Sunday. I need to have a headbanging emote, which there is actually a headbanging emote, but okay, so let's hopefully I won't be shouting too much over the metal. We'll listen to this for a bit. It's 2 hours and 8 minutes, so maybe the entire stream could be soundtrack to Doom. If you can't hear me, if this is too loud, you need to let me know so that I can adjust the volumes. We should be fine though. I keep a close eye on my sound, on my sound levels on OBS, which is the software I use to broadcast. So hopefully we should be alright as I peak. I still think I need to adjust my gain a bit. It's only been 6 months. Okay, so let's do some art whilst enjoying some intense music. Right, what am I? It's 4H. Hey, good morning, Fatcorn. Thank you for dropping in. Bit of a change of pace today. I hope you are well. Okay, I can't actually remember what I was doing. I think I was using this. Oh yeah, I'd ruled off these edges. Move my mic. I'd ruled off these edges. So I need to work on filling this section here and getting intensity of depth of tone. That's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, things should be particularly interesting today because my usually slightly wobbly hand, which, you know, I make into a feature, not a bug, through my wobbly drawings. So my hand's a bit swollen today because I was extremely, extremely lucky to get some leftover vaccine yesterday. Woohoo! So I would usually have it done in my non-dominant hand, which would be my left arm, or the arm of my non-dominant hand. But I have tattoos on my arm, and so when I would have my flu vaccination, I would usually be told that I shouldn't have it in my tattoo because apparently there can be issues in terms of the pigment of the tattoo being pushed through different layers of the epidermis, which I did read up on, and the GP is 100% correct, which is great. So I had it done in my dominant hand, which then means that my arm, I usually am, usually okay with vaccinations. I usually feel a bit rubbish a few days afterwards. And have a sore arm. And yeah, I woke up with a sore arm this morning and my little finger is a bit swollen. So my hand's a bit swollen today. So should be sort of extra interesting to see how it goes today. It might be shambles, but whatever. But Fatcorn, yes. Did you play on the baby setting? Don't hurt me. Baby setting, I think, is the one. So I'm old enough to have grown up playing Doom and Doom 2 when they came out. Doom 2 is probably my favourite. Played it on PC where you had to put in loads of floppy disks to install it. And it was where it was freeware? Or I don't know, it was just, maybe it was early piracy, I don't know. But I do have Doom, but I've never played it because I've watched a lot of people play it. And I played, so when I used to play Doom 2, I always used to play it with cheat mode. So I'd have IDDQD, which is sort of God mode, turned on, and I'd have it where I'd pick up all of the weapons, and I'd still be scared. So yeah, it was. Don't worry about playing. There's no shame in playing games on whatever mode you want to, whether that's ultra hard or ultra nightmare or don't kill me or don't hurt me, which I think is the baby setting. One of my most enjoyed games I played was the rebooted Wolfenstein series. So I played Wolfenstein, The New Order and Old Blood, and I played that on the second easiest mode from easiest, and I had a great time, and I still found it challenging at points, but I was more interested, it depends what you're interested in. If you're interested in sort of story or whatever, yeah. So, I mean, how anybody plays Doom on console, I mean, I have no idea. You have my respect. Okay, let's do some actual art. So, even though I haven't played this version of Doom, the soundtrack is amazing. And as I've mentioned before, this is too soft. As I've mentioned before, is this too soft? Yes, this is the wrong. I need the other one. Yeah, there we go. This is an H. The other one was a B or a 2B. There we go. And I've now probably ruined that part of the drawing, but oh well. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm a big, probably the streamer I watch the most, well not even probably. Even though most of it is on video catch-up because of the time zone difference, is Moon Moon. And Moon Moon is very well known for doing an Ultra Nightmare run of Doom and then the follow-up. What was the follow-up called? Oh yeah, Doom Eternal. Oh! Dog's in it! Thank you so much for the follow, I really appreciate it. Thank you for dropping in today. Welcome. I'm just waffling on about Doom, I think. Anyway, Moon Moon, if you have any questions, Dog's in it, I do like your name, please do ask about what I'm doing. Or the work or broader context. Yeah, so Moon Moon did an ultra-violence run, basically Ultra Nightmare is where you, basically if you die, you perma-die and you have to start the game again. And yeah, it took quite a few attempts. And I remember watching live, because he'd gone for some ridiculous length of time trying to get right to the end. And he was so, so close to winning against the final boss. And then his cat Eddie, who actually died a couple of weeks ago. You know, poor Eddie. He was great. He was clearly not used to being kept up that late, and so he was kind of messing around and being a bit of an arse, as he often was. Bless his loveliness. And so he kept walking in front of the monitor and getting in the way, so Moon Moon would be a really important part. And then Eddie would just walk in front, and then he lost his concentration, and then he died. And it was right at the very end. It was pretty brilliant. Eddie sends his regards. So yeah, that was pretty good. So yeah, Moon is clearly, so historically, Moon was an Overwatch player. I do not like Overwatch. I've watched it and it's like Valorant, it's too fast and I just don't know what's going on and I don't see the enjoyment at all. But I understand why other people watch it. But Moon is quite entertaining when he plays, so either his use of humour, which is why I like him the most, or in just how the sort of style he plays. So yeah, his run playthroughs of Doom and Doom Eternal are really fun. Even if you're not into that particular sort of game video type. This is going badly, it's all patchy. Oh well, it's only been 16 minutes, so we're doing well. Dogs in it. It's a good username. In it. Can you actually see what I'm doing, chat? Kind of. Oh look, and the glitchy expensive webcam. Brilliant. I love it. Anyway. Yeah, it's kind of odd. I mean, I'm assuming it's just sort of general sort of inflammation from the vaccination. And yeah, it's definitely, my finger feels quite sore and fat. Fat fingers. So yeah. We'll see how we get on today. Fatcorn, I ordered some of that wallpaper stuff as your advice. What was the wallpaper stuff? Oh, the wallpaper lining paper. Yes. I hope it was cheap and I hope you have fun. Because it is cheap goodness. But it depends what media you're planning on using for it. Again, I really like the texture of it. And the fact that it's big and cheap. So when I bought a roll of it, it was sort of a $5. And obviously you get, 10 meters. Yeah, you must get unpasted. If you got pasted lining paper, it would be an absolute disaster. You just want the lining paper because it's just kind of useful. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear how you get on with it. It just might not be what you're after. Yeah, as I'm drawing, my little finger is really sore. It's weird. So the advice, if there was sort of general pain and body aches, was to use paracetamol, which I'm not even sure if I have any. I think I have ibuprofen. If that. Yeah, if the drawing is a bit disjointed today, it's because I'm trying to flex my fingers to, I mean, it's just sort of, they're not shooting pains, but it's just sore. It's fine, but, yeah. So yeah, I am, in the UK, they are vaccinating people, so they should be approaching vaccinating everybody over 60. the sort of hierarchy of people of needs, in that there are clearly still lots of really vulnerable people who haven't been vaccinated. So in some ways I do feel a bit guilty about having the vaccination, but I think it was because of the ease. So I think the reason why we got offered, so it's my workplace, we are about 10 minutes walk from the vaccination hub, and we are across the road from a major hospital, the major hospital for the local area. So when I went there, it was extremely quick.
His iron will remains steadfast through the passage that preys upon the weak.
Demigod, nice. So when I went there were lots of other people of different ages who were clearly under 60, and I think it was a mixture of key workers, so people from the fire brigade, and so I'm a teacher.
Unbreakable, incorruptible,
So yeah, I feel extremely lucky
could stand before the hall,
in that clearly it doesn't 100% protect me from things, but
for he alone was the Hellwalker.
it is better than not having a vaccination. See, what's going to happen here is I'm going to keep doing the same thing, which is I'm going to wobble over the line and then have to keep creeping the line, re-ruling the line and creeping it closer. This is what will happen. Because again, I can't quite see what I'm doing. Joys of my lighting system. Oh yes, I should also thank, I had two followers. Just remind myself who these humans are. Hold on a minute, where is my activity feed? So, thank you very much to Fireslayer69, which is a great name, and P. Duda. Welcome. I think I know who you are. Thank you both for the follow, really do appreciate it. I hope that your day is proving to be a good one so far. Yeah, let me minimize that window. So I think lengthwise or widthwise, the fuzzy band is about where I want it to be, but now it's about increasing the intensity more. I think Doom was probably one of the first games I ever played. Well, Doom 2, I think, probably was one of the first games I played. I think in my family, we first got a PC in 1995 or 96. And I don't think I really did much gaming then. It was more, so it was the early days of the internet. So it was more me looking at webcams around the world and marveling at what I could see. And using, so they had Microsoft Encarta, which is just like an encyclopedia on a CD-ROM, an interactive CD-ROM. And so I used to spend a lot of time looking through that. Which was cool. and demo discs. Playing a lot of demo discs. So you'd buy a computer shop or you'd buy whatever, and then it would come with like a floppy, or come with their CD, and so you'd have all these amazing demo discs that probably wouldn't run most of the time, but you'd still try. I think Monkey Island I probably played as well. Myst. I think. No, not Myst. The Seventh Guest? Yeah, the Seventh Guest, I think. What's weird is that my finger doesn't particularly look particularly swollen. Like I can feel it, and it does feel, you know, a bit sausage-like. It definitely is swollen, but it feels, I don't know, sort of inside it. It's where it feels, rather than it being the whole. I mean, I don't know. Odd. I'm sure that these things are most likely to be temporary. Something I completely forgotten is that I'd actually bought, what's it called? Is it New Colossus? The second of the Wolfenstein reboots. And I don't think I've played it. I don't think. Which is odd because I love New Order a lot. Old Blood is really enjoyable as well. Would recommend. It's usually on sale quite a lot. Yeah, what else did I do earlier in the week? I had my last of my drawing classes, experimental drawing classes. Oh yes, Fat Corn, you'll be pleased to hear that the artwork that I had to rush to get done and submitted right on the deadline didn't get selected. Unsurprising. And fine, because it wasn't my best application. Plus, it's not necessarily about the quality of the work, it's about whether it fits with the rest of the work. And obviously what's important is that I applied for it, in that you have to apply for things and get rejected. Otherwise you never get anywhere, so applying is really important. If you don't apply, you don't get. I mean, you'll never get rejected, but you'll never grow. It was for a beer can label. Not quite, Fat Corn. Not quite. But I mean, that could be a new merchandising opportunity. Increase my merch. Which the only merch I really have is artwork. Though you could say that one of my patches was merch, probably. And actually, I think that patch design is very merchable. I mean, maybe that's what I need to do, increase my merch empire by getting some vinyl stickers made up a bit. To offer people things at different price points. Just as I have with my prints, stuff at different price points. Thank you, Fat Corn. You are too kind. Some of my art is definitely cool because I like some of my art, but this piece I'm less convinced about. Just as I was less convinced about the other two that came before it. So we'll see. I think it's only when it's completely finished that I'll be able to decide whether I hate it or not. The moment it is as yet to be determined. If I lived in an industrial loft, apartment or flat, I would have a proper art studio space as opposed to trying to do something on a 2 by 3 foot space on a PC desk. So I'd make much larger artwork, but here we are. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So I need to even these things up. Just cable. Yeah, I realise it's still stuck on the light box because I haven't bothered to take it off. Because I might need to reuse the light at some point. Oops. Your big art break came and went. Listen, there's no such thing as a big art break. Most of the time, it is a marathon of failure and small victories. It's awesome that your work got picked. Getting selected, you have to apply to a lot of things and get rejected a lot. As I said earlier, if you don't apply, you don't get anywhere. They wanted to show it, but they closed the museum. Or do you mean that the museum was closed to the public, but they wanted to show it anyway? Because there are a lot of galleries and museums that are doing that around the world, where the gallery space is closed, but they've got online viewing rooms or online shows, depending on what the COVID infection rate and situation is like in that particular part of the world or particular part of that country. So even before COVID, there were still lots of exhibitions where they were online exhibitions, which is obviously different from IRL, but I mean, it means it's more accessible to people, potentially more affordable for people to show. It's interesting now, you know, it's all about showing in spaces and people coming to see it, and there still isn't anything like seeing, you know, art in person. It's so much better than seeing it photographed or online if it's, you know, physical work, as well as all the other stuff of, you know, traveling and visiting places where art is shown and all the other cultural stuff around that. But yeah, things like group shows. So I've shown mostly in group shows. I've had my own solo shows, but mostly group. And yeah, that's interesting. It's the idea of curation, which we did a big thing on when I was doing my masters about what curation actually means. I think it comes from curare, which is to care. It's this idea that a curator should be working with artists to support them, as well as obviously selecting stuff for show. So it's kind of interesting. Curation and the curatorial approach has become really trendy over the last few years, in the sense of it's just people collecting images. So Pinterest is all about, air quotes, curation, except it's not really, because it's just about collecting images that people like and isn't necessarily supporting the people that make the images, make the artwork, make the products, crafts, whatever. So, you know, could be seen as free PR, free exposure, but artists get paid, air quotes, in exposure too often, when actually they need to be paid money. Because artists have bills, just like anybody else. Sorry, chat, I just bumped you. Dumb high school students make listen, if you get any work shown, your work will have been selected, and it's the space, the idea that people come and see your work is really exciting. I mean, I've done shows where nobody has turned up. It's just been me all day. I've done shows where hundreds of people have attended. You know, it's all about all the stuff around kind of showing and, oh, this is a great track. This is probably the best track from the album, I think, the soundtrack. So you've got weird, I don't know whether you can actually see that, but I've got weird sort of fleck marks, I guess, where there must be unevenness in the paper that is being picked up by the graphite. Okay, let's try do some sharpening. Yeah, New York galleries are a whole other level. It's been a really long time since I've last been to New York. I think probably the last time I've been there was 2004? Yeah, I think it was 2004, roughly. Yeah, if you want to support people in their creativity, particularly if they are somebody who's creative where they are less, well, their work is less known. They're an emerging artist, they are an artist who's part of a marginalised group. The best thing you can do is to show up at their show. If you can't do that, you know, support them online, buy their work. If you can't buy their work, retweet, like, repost, just get everything out there to draw attention. Those are the things that you can do to support your local creatives. So if you want to support a group of people or an individual artist, ultimately you've got to put your money where your mouth is, because that's how you help. But if you can't do that, there are obviously other ways where you don't have to spend money. But it's just really important that we try and help and support local artists. So if you are showing, you know, showing an artist-led gallery or an artist-led space is really great because you're supporting directly, you know, the practice of those artists, helping fund pay their bills, all that sort of stuff if there are fees. If you've got a collective of people, you know, if you can afford it, buy their work or show up to those shows, pay the entry fee, go and buy some drinks at their opening or whatever. I think it's the surface of the paper that is just completely coming off. It's not helpful. This weird stuff. Is that actually in the paper? How can that be in the paper? Looks like it's actually in the paper. Clearly I've chosen well. Oh boy. Choosing the paper that has the weird marks in it. Excellent choice, Abel. You've done very well. Okay, I think I might start seeing how this looks when it's got a little bit of blending going on. The surface is coming off. My god, this paper. I regret the day I ever purchased you. So this is not blending out very well at all. Yay! So I need to try and balance up the sides. This is a weird blob. There's a tiny fleck in the middle of this that isn't blending out at all. I have no idea what it is. It's just this paper cannot cope. What the point of this paper is, I do not know. It cannot take any moisture whatsoever, even though it's watercolor paper. It's fun to draw on, but then it just falls apart. Not too much pressure. I regret my choices. Oh yeah, I've done that side. This is quite Wolfenstein motif. which would make sense because the same person did the 2 soundtracks. So what I need to work out how to do, so I've got the fuzz, and I think the gradient wise it looks okay, but the tricky thing here, which I don't know how I can do it, I need to have the fuzz go to nothing to erase out any excess, but then have a very soft finish, but get it even, so line it up. So where I need to rub out sections, how I can rub that out without getting a heavy line, I'm not quite sure. I wonder whether this is where rubber powder or eraser powder. Let me see if I can find what that is. Might be. Cleaning powder.
sisters and brothers, be thankful. They tell me the time has come for us to give our souls to the cause. You will feel it shortly.
What is this? Oh boy.
Let the hell energy wash over you. You will be elevated to something more. We will join them, walk alongside them, help them forge a new world. It is our reward, our fate.
That's something I did like in the Doom Eternal stuff, was just this idea of, you know, hey, be all you can be and become a demon and join the UAC. It was kind of funny. Let me just get a tissue. Like this. Away. There we go. Oh, time for a stretch chat. So I don't think you can see this on stream. Actually, you can, kind of. So it might look like I'm rubbing away nothing, but I am definitely erasing graphite from the paper. So there's a very fine coating of graphite on quite some areas of the paper. Just where my hand has cool smudging, or something I'm a bit worried about here is that when I'm rubbing, I'm going to cause some graphite to smear and get sort of stuck into the paper. So, but that doesn't seem to have happened so far. I mean, these rubbers are great. I'd recommend. I mean, they're classics of the genre. Good old Staedtler erasers. Yeah, there's a little blob here. Put something bleach it out. No. This looks like there's a bit of smudge here. Get rid of that. Again, I don't know whether I like this or not. Eternal conversation of, is it bad, is it good? Do I hate it, do I like it? I think the general response is I still don't like it. But maybe I just need to live with it for a while, which is sometimes the case. You hate something and then you put it out for a while and you come back to it and you can like something. So hopefully this VOD should not be muted the entire way through, because this is a gaming soundtrack and yes, it's copyrighted, but generally speaking it should be okay. I mean, I never play copyrighted music. Isn't game music. I work really hard not to do that. Because Twitch's systems are so broken. But also that would be quite funny if the entire thing was muted. There should totally be an option to download VODs before they've had the robot go to work on it and mute out any sections. Because most of the time, when I've had a section of my music muted, the robot has got it wrong. I'd say 9 times out of 10, it's wrong. In the sense of I do have the permission of the artist and the publishers to play that. But when you disagree with the muting and you fill in the sort of dispute form, nothing ever happens. I mean, my stuff hasn't been unmuted, which is one of the many reasons why the whole system is spectacularly stupid and broken and not fit for purpose. Okay, so this is, I mean, it's getting there. So every time I rub the fuzz, every time I rub the cotton bud, I can see the surface peeling off. Or the surface fuzziness, which is not a good sign. Okay, this is kind of dubious up here. Dr. Samuel Hayden. He is the... I don't know how you describe Hayden. The antagonist of Doom? Starts out friendly, then is not friendly, from what I remember. It's been a while. So I need to try and get a straighter edge on this, which is easy. Then it's about there, the fade. I think this area needs some more polish. I'm not sure how much you can actually... I mean, this does look pretty abrupt on the webcam. It is less abrupt in real life, but it is definitely visible. This needs more blending. So I have the contrast and the detail tweaked to bring out the pencil drawings that I'm doing. So the colours are totally out of whack. So I mean, this is really dark navy, but it's not. It's a lot brighter. Well, not a lot brighter, but it's more of a raw blue. Rather looks very cool navy on that. But it's just that this shows up better. So my skin tone seems particularly pink and red when I'm definitely not that colour. So all the saturation is slightly turned up. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see any of my drawings. Oh, cyber demons, they're scary. I can hear the shrieky shouts in my head when I think of them. What are the smaller versions of a Cyberdemon called? It's like, there's the, I don't know, I can't remember. Cyberdemons are the big guys that fire rockets. Oh, but no, that's a Barons of Hell are the green and pink ones. They're the small ones. And then a Cyberdemon is the big boy. With the fuzzy britches. Okay. Hey, Ake, how's it going? Interesting that your work always seems so fragile, but at the same time connected with explosions. That's really interesting that you say that. I'd not thought of my work being fragile. But yeah, I can totally understand your interpretation. Thank you, Ike. I appreciate the input. It's a really interesting interpretation. How are you? I hope you're well. Enjoying your coffee this afternoon. Thank you for dropping in. Trying to get this maybe finished off today. So blending this out best I can, and then I need to erase some edges because it's still too flat. I still don't like this very much. So I think I just need to get it all done before I can decide whether it's terrible or not. Yeah, I hope your day is going well, Ike. And like uni's going okay. Hold on, so much. Okay, that's not quite what I want. This I do need to be quite careful on, because if I erase too much, it's going to be really difficult to get back. If I erase too much. My God, what am I doing in my life? Let's see. Closer. I could just blame it on my my fat vaccine fingers. Yeah, it's totally that. Not anything else. So yeah, I got some leftover vaccine yesterday. Woohoo! And so my arm is sore and my fingers are swollen up a little bit, particularly my little finger. So drawing is kind of extra interesting today. But it's all good. It's all good. Why does that still seem wonky? Oh my, yeah, that's, what am I doing? I'm just completely messing this up. Oh boy. Oh boy. So now this is curved. That's not what I want. Oh dear. Spectacularly dumb, here I come. Alright, let's try and reblend this back out again. Oh boy, you're fine. I'm glad to hear. Got a lot of dishwashing to do. Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of dishes on Friday and I did a lot of dishes yesterday. But strangely, I seem to be making more dishes to wash. Weird. Yeah, I hope you're dishwashing it. I tend to put Twitch on when I've got Bluetooth headset phones that I don't use to stream, but I do use to sort of listen when I'm moving around my flat or hoovering and doing house chores, and it helps me with that. I find that watching Twitch can be quite helpful. And I had it was a great Friday and Saturday because my favourite streamer was doing a 24-hour stream. He managed to do 18 before giving up, bless him. Actually, no, he did 20, which is mind-boggling. I don't know how anybody does a regular work day. So 8 hours of streaming, I don't know how anybody does it. I mean, the answer is practice, but talking to Twitch chat continuously for 8 hours. I mean, I like talking, but that seems bonkers. I mean, how many? I've only been streaming for an hour and a half and it feels like a long time. I think it's just not how, I mean, my day job is just talking to people for 8 or 9 hours a day. So, I mean, it's not like I don't do that, but I guess, I don't know. The intensity of it seems mind-boggling. Let alone doing 20 hours. My God. Or who is it? Ludwig is doing, how many hours of streaming is he on? I don't even know. Let's try and blend this a little bit. Yeah, depending, I agree, depending on what you're streaming. I mean, I can happily game for 8 hours, you know, with a toilet break. No problem with that, depending on what I'm doing. You know, I can pass an entire day playing Minecraft. But it's the way of always being air quotes on can be quite difficult. So if I do, sometimes I have to do an 11 or 12 hour day at work, which would include a parents' evening. And by the end of parents' evening, after 11 or 12 hours, I mean, I can barely string a sentence together. I am noticeably stumbling over my words. And yeah, it's interesting just how my brain melts over the course of an evening. So how people do it, that always being on and sort of projecting is quite difficult. Yeah, I guess with gaming you can always talk about the game with friends. I think the gaming with friends thing is definitely, I imagine, very helpful. I mean, I don't really play, I play no multiplayer games. Do I play any multiplayer games? No. I much enjoy sort of solo FPS or solo exploration games. So earlier in the week I was continuing my replaythrough of Subnautica, which has been quite enjoyable, though not as enjoyable as the first time where you're discovering everything. But it feels a bit speedrunny because I've sort of already got to I've got a Cyclops and the sort of big submarine. Yeah, having a game to play is helpful. I have streamed some games on here. So I stream my solo walking through of Satan is speaking again. GTA obviously, and then I played some RDR2, which was again solo, and I rode around and patted my horse. and enjoyed the scenery.
Despair spread before him like a plague, striking fear into the
And oh yeah, Minecraft.
driving
I streamed my nuclear bunker in Minecraft and that building. That was over Christmas, where it was a permanently winter world, which I still have, and I built some more buildings in it. Yeah, I have no idea how to do it. I mean, it's a cliche of the silent art stream where nobody's watching, and it's just somebody with music who never talks to chat. And there's all this advice of, you know, oh, you have to be engaging and you have to engage your chat and talk about what you're doing and narrate what you're doing. And I think that is important, but it's also this idea of being on, which is why should you have to talk all the time? And I don't talk all the time. It is a lot easier when you've got people engaging with you and saying hello, or people that return, like you and other people. Your regulars is really, really helpful to pass the time, I guess. But I've also done a load of streams where it's just me and bots. And I'm just talking to myself for 3 hours, which is fine. Okay, that looks less bad. Hooray! Oh yeah, no, I've never played GTA RP. I've RP'd in Ark, and that was a long time ago. And I did play on, NoPixel, which is the most well-known GTA RP server. Before it was GTA, it was Arma 3. And I did play on the NoPixel server for about 15 minutes. So I got whitelisted. And I was too scared. I was too scared to sort of... It was a bit complex in terms of remembering the keybinds, and I'm terrible at that. So I just was too afraid, and I heard people and I ran away. My chance at greatness, I blew it. So yeah, I mean, there's no way that... I mean, NoPixel is I mean, it's people's livelihoods these days. But I watch a lot of it. And I do love the world. This track is pretty great. Okay, do I need more? So I'm trying to even out, which again, actually you can see it on the webcam. This is slightly lighter up here, or at least it's got less depth. Look at my glitchy camera. So great, Logitech. Though, actually it might not be Logitech's fault, but I'll just blame them. Oh yeah, and I also, how could I forget? I played, I mean it was soft RP, but the Atlas, when Atlas was first a thing, where I was a member of Moon Moon's guerrilla pirate team called the P Team, which is one of my most funnest experiences of gaming ever. That was a high point, but that was soft RP, if any. And fun enough, I was a builder in that. I was a mason, so I built bases. And they weren't really good bases, they were just basically me being annoyed with people and how they organise things. And I've just laughed and I've just spat on my artwork. Oh my god. Just because I'm getting too excited about thinking about Atlas. There we go, let's blot that. Holy moly. That's going well. Yeah, so I used to remodel bases. So defensively, I'm not somebody who's good at building defensive bases. I mean, you know, people that play Rust much better at protecting than I am. But in terms of organising, accessing resources and gather materials, I was the go-to person for that. Then actually, when it came down to it, so it was all about the rest of the world versus China, which is kind of fascinating. So it was all these different pirate clans who were trying to unite against clans that were Chinese, against the so-called Zergosh, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, at the very end, Moon Moon decided to attack the nearest Chinese base. And it was all going really well until the entire ship that he was on got magically teleported onto the other side of the map, and then he rage quit. But I was in a smaller boat with a couple of other people. One guy, we got on really well, and we were sort of quite a good little team. But yeah, I did quite well actually, fighting off players, enemy players. I killed a lot. When I say lot, a few. Yeah, Atlas was terrible, but it was so good, and it has, I mean, it still has so much potential, but I've never played it ever since. And there are, so when I was playing on Arc, that was RP stuff, that was Twitch RP, so I'm still whitelisted on stuff for that, but they did do Atlas RP, but it was obviously whitelisted, and it was a very small number of, so it wasn't a whole map, it was sort of a quarter of a map, which part of me thinks I should sort of try and get back into RP, because like I say, it was the most fun I've had gaming. It was great fun, particularly when you have a server event, is pretty hilarious. But then it's a lot of time, and if it's a popular server you have to queue up to get in, and I don't have the time for that because I actually have a job. Uh-oh, spitting on my artwork again. See if I can buff that out. Ruin my artwork one laugh at a time. Yeah, so that's now permanently in my artwork because I laughed. Nice. Thanks, paper. Is that... Yeah, that looks absolutely diabolical. Oh my god. I really need to stop laughing and spitting on my artwork. So I think it's probably nearly done in terms of the fuzzy bit down here. Yeah, Alice was great, but it was an extremely broken game. Funnily enough, because it was built on, it was basically Ark in the ocean, but reskinned. Yeah. Okay, is this done? Yeah, this where I laughed and I got a bit of spit on my artwork has actually ruined my artwork. Oh my god. The rest of it looks alright though, kind of. Boy. Alright, so that's probably done. So now we need to try and... So I was gonna take off some edges because they were too harsh. So let's try and do that and decide what I want to undo. I was also thinking about blending some areas. See if this will work. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I remember that bug hike. It was, and I mean, I have 700 or 800 hours on Ark, which I know in the scheme of things is not very much. But I haven't played that in years, and I loved Ark so much. Just playing solo was so enjoyable. Just because it was building, then breeding and all that sort of stuff, which I wasn't really into the breeding, but yeah. Do I stretch my paper? No. No, I don't stretch my paper, Fatcorn. Because paper stretching is really good if you're doing watercolour. So you don't have to stretch your paper. It depends on the paper and the weight of it, and it depends on what you're doing with it. You can also buy pads that have, so round the edge, where you would have a gummed edge, maybe, and it would, the rest of the paper would lift up. You can buy pads where they're gummed on all four sides, so that when you paint outdoors, it stops the paper flapping around, and it also kind of acts as a way to stretch things. But stretching is definitely useful. If you're going to stretch, don't do it on unsealed MDF. You should try and do it on MDF that's been sealed, or plywood or something, where the board won't warp. But yeah, paper stretching, if it's something that's important, definitely worth doing. If you're doing something that's kind of not as important, it's a faff, and that you need to leave things to dry, and you need to have a space big enough that you can kind of dunk or sponge the water on. Yeah, the paper, drying paper is pretty strong, so you need to be careful that when it's drying, it doesn't, you know, destroy the board that you're leaving it to dry on. Kind of interesting. So I'm trying to take off some of the weight off some of these outlines to give a bit more variation, which I did try and do when I was drawing the outlines, but I think I need to do more. I wonder whether the outlines being changed will help me hate it less. Which I think it might do, but we'll have to see. Yeah, Ark was so fun. And yeah, it was one of those things we could just play for hours. And progression, the servers that I played on, I always played with increased gathering rates or increased sort of progression rates. Even when I was just playing on my own single player. Okay, let's keep going. Is the camera actually focused? Kind of. I think having less line weight is probably helping me. Or having sort of patchy, interrupted line weight is helping. Let's spin this around, see what it looks like. Ugh. To have a stretch. Okay, so actually, bear with me 1 second whilst I zoom in for you a little bit. See how close I can get here. As I cannot remember what the minimum focus depth is. Okay. It's struggling to find a focal point. Let's put a pencil on there. Let's see if I can give you 1 second. Let's turn off the autofocus. Try that. I think that's probably as back up. Okay, so I think I've turned off the autofocus. So hopefully, let me just bring up my webcam on the other monitor. It's going out. Might be weird. Why are you not snapping? Weirdo. Okay, so hopefully being zoomed in and without the with the autofocus turned off, this should show up better. Hopefully. So if it's really out of focus, which I do not think it is, you need to tell me, chat, so I can do something about it. So taking the weight off some of this is proving helpful. Just shove these pencils there. God. This just seems so washed out. Okay, that's better. I think it's where the light is reflecting off the graphite, which makes it hard for what I'm doing to come up on the cam. Let's move my mic back down. Check. See that better? Yeah, you can. Awesome. Okay. Right, this is not going too badly. All I need to do is not laugh and accidentally spit on my work and ruin it again, and we're doing brilliantly. Posture check. Getting a crick in my neck because I'm having to look really closely what I'm doing. So I can actually see. Oops, sorry chat, I bashed you. You see lots of faces here, lots of weird marks to interpret in different ways. Ooh, we're nearly at the end of the soundtrack. I think maybe at the end of the soundtrack it's time for a cup of tea. And a stretching break. In 2 hours, it's not too bad. Ugh. Sorry chat, I keep poking you. I can't remember what the final boss was in Doom. I can remember in Doom Eternal it was the Icon of Sin. Because I remember Moon Moon playing that and Eddie getting in the way and him failing. I think it was the thing where you were in an arena and there was sort of different bosses that came out, I think. Again, sorry for poking you, chat. Poking me. Satan is talking again.
was burned upon his crypt, a warning to all of hell that the terror within must never be freed. And there he lies still.
Fat Corn, I've just seen your artwork. This is hilarious. Oh boy. Shane Wagwan, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Thanks for dropping in this afternoon. I hope you're enjoying the stream. We've come to the end of Doom. Let's listen to something not that. Hold on. What should we listen to that is not DMCA? Yeah, I know it's tea time, but I think this is nearly finished. So I feel like something, let's have a think. What should we listen to? Let's put something on in the background whilst we're, ooh, hot cocoa. That's pretty great. Let's listen to okay, let's listen to this because it's a good go-to whilst I work out what I'm doing in my life. Hold on, I need to get back to this. This is hilarious. Thank you, Fat Corn. This is the ever evolving fan art goodness. Just find that. Oh boy. Yeah, hot cocoa. I love that. The Peepo coffee is so cute. So cute. I love the Peepo coffee. Right, what was I doing? I was going to get a cup of tea, but I was also pondering what I was doing in my life. I also need to stretch my back out. Also, I'm thinking about Shenanwagwan. You could be Shane Wagwan. Or it could be, I'm guessing it's Shenanwagwan. Shenanwagwan. Which is combining interesting cultural mixes there. Well done. Shenanwagwan. What am I doing? I can't even remember. My brain is in the pot. Now my arms hurt even more. Okay. So, is this... Okay, I'm going to just change setting on my cam. Let's do... turn on autofocus again and zoom out. Let me just make sure you don't want to throw up on my wobbly camera. Hot cocoa. Okay. So do I hate this or not? Oh, how many followers am I up to? Hold on. $39. Oh my god. 11 away from 50, the magic number. Which will be fairly 50. I would never think I'd get that far. Yeah, 50 is the magic number. 50 is the magic number because if I get to 50 followers, then all I need to do is manage to get an average of 3 viewers over a certain time period, and then I can officially get my own emote. Limited edition artwork available to rent for $4.99 a month. Yeah, do I hate this or not? Yeah, I know. There definitely is work that I really don't think is working, and then I leave it, I hang it up somewhere, or I prop it up somewhere, and then I come back to it. That I then don't hate as much. But it's working out what is wrong with this is the thing I've got to try here. So what I've not worked out yet is why I don't like this. In that I've picked out lots of things I don't like, but what is it in combination that means that it's not working is proving difficult. I mean, if Fatman is in a nuclear explosion, yeah. Well, it would definitely have to be nuclear related. Stereotypically, it would be a heart emote, because that's the first emote that everybody does. So it would have to be nuclear themed heart emote, probably. But yeah, Ache, yeah, the idea of anybody paying money monthly to listen and watch my art streams is fairly ridiculous. So even if I did get to 50, and even then if I managed to get my average of 3 viewers and stream for the amount of time that they want you to stream, my mind will be blown. Given I've not really streamed very much. I've been doing quite well actually for regular streaming on weekends. Yeah, Fallout Shelter would work quite well in terms of an icon. Yeah, welcome to my art streams where we pretend everything's okay. Except we don't pretend that everything's okay because we complain about things all the time. Maybe we need to make a list of bad. Which I do have. Hold on. I got rid of what's not working. Yeah, more cat butt emotes. I mean, that is a possibility. Though that is not my jam, cat butts. How... Hold on, let me work out what I want to do here. Let's make a new... source. Let's call it bad. Okay, how ridiculously ginormous. This is where the stream is going to lag. For which I apologise. How ginormous is that? That's ridiculous. Oh man, let's make that bigger. Why is it so stupid ginormous? How big is this box? Genuinely, how big is that box? Is this just an unending box? It's slightly large. Why are you being weird? Do you know what? I give up. To delete that. Discard. Discard. Okay. Let's just do this. Okay, so why is this bad? What? Okay, let's try this. It's just bad. It's just bad art. Oh, it's an opportunity to use my, that's one of the first hums I've done so far. Where is There we are. Beautiful. It's lovely. Let's just take a screenshot of this. Okay. So this area doesn't seem to be working terribly well. Hmm. Falcon, enjoy the freedom and great responsibilities of adulting or young adulting. Enjoy. And take things slowly. Always look before you. Always mirror before you signal and maneuver. Enjoy. I think I might end the stream because I need to. I mean, I've got my list. The list of things that I think aren't working, but I think I just maybe need to spend time with the artwork and work out whether I hate it. You know, joys. I also need to make some dinner and I need to prepare for my working week and hang up some clothes. I was having a clear out, stuff I can take to recycle, donate even. And I need to put some stuff back in my wardrobe. Yeah, thank you so much to everybody who dropped in. It was really great to have so many active humans as well as lurkers. Thank you very much to all the people that followed. I hope that you have a really great rest of your morning or afternoon or evening. And I will catch you soon. Yeah. Goodbye.